All right, I'm going to save myself some headaches on the YouTube comments of this one. You can only Summoner's Pact for green creatures. Green creatures are the only things you can fetch with Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact cannot find creatures that are not green. It cannot find lands. It cannot find Postmortem Lunge. It cannot find Chord of Calling. It cannot find Gideon, ally of Zendikar. And remember, if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, smash that like button and leave a comment below. Ring that bell, whatever that means on YouTube. If you watch YouTube, you probably know what that means. I'm new at this whole YouTube thing. Not really. I'm new at promoting it, though. I don't know all the ins and outs of promoting it. How we doing, folks? Good evening. Happy Saturday night. So we can Pact for Night of Autumn out of this. Exactly. It gets cards out of your sideboard. It's glittering Pact. Is Shalai green for the purposes of... Exactly. You can Summoner's Pact for Shalai because it has green pips in its text box. How have the YouTube comments been? They've been better than I was expecting, if I'm being honest. So, if YouTube comments continue to remain the way they've been for the last week or so, I'm going to leave them up. If Chad cosplays as Nissa, can you Summoner's Pact for him? Probably. I don't see why not. Seems legal. Am I a sports fan at all? I am not. Not big on the hoops and such. The hoops and the nets and all sorts of other things. So, the last time we played a deck similar to this, it left a lot to be desired. So I'm interested to see how this goes. I don't know. This hand isn't particularly fast. For people that aren't familiar with our combo, Devoted Druid plus Vizier of Remedies gives you infinite green mana. And then with infinite green mana, Duskwatch Recruiter gets any creature out of your deck, which then kills with Walking Ballista or Shalai, Voice of Plenty. So very, very combo-y. Turn 1 Valakut. I feel like there's a good chance we're about to make the gods very angry. Why are we playing Lunge? We're playing Lunge because the deck list I've been paid money to play had copies of Postmortem Lunge in it. I believe this deck list actually came from like a Mox or a Grand Prix or somewhere. Basically, Postmortem Lunge lets you like bring your Druid back with haste and then combo kill them. So I think from a let's be linear degenerates perspective, the Lunge is really good. I'm gonna go ahead and activate this and dig for a Druid. That is about as expected based on how we've been running so far tonight. Please keep in mind, if you are new to this channel, instead of asking me to tell you why your ideas are bad, instead engage and tell me why your ideas are good. Sometimes your ideas are good and then we can talk about it. Oh, this didn't cost me an extra mana. Silly me. Storm is 4. Storm is 4 for people not keeping count. Who's got 2 thumbs and is ready to die to a red-green deck? This guy right here. What's going on, Admiral? Thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Would you agree that the standard green-white company is probably more consistent at comboing and therefore winning? So there isn't a standard green-white company deck. Green-white's not a deck that pops up consistently in any results that I've seen. So when you say standard green-white company deck, my answer to you is, what's the standard green-white company deck? Is there a deck list I've just been missing? Because as far as I'm aware, it's like very fringe. So they're going to kill 2 of my creatures here. Can we beat Woodland Bellower next turn? Asking the real questions. I assume they're going to kill my Vizier of Remedies here. They're killing my Duskwatch Recruiters. That's good for me, I think. How long can I assume until we play Black-Green Rock? Somewhere between an hour from now and 4 hours from now. So this isn't good enough, actually, right? I don't have... And this is one of the reasons why this combo always feels incredibly clunky to me. This is a combo that gets disrupted by Lightning Bolt, and it is a combo that requires 3 cards. So I have infinite mana here. I can kill this and Postmortem Lunge it into play. I just don't have anything to do with that mana. We're all dressed up and we have nowhere to go, chat. So yes, I can generate infinite green mana, but I can't do anything with that infinite green mana. That infinite green mana can't take me to prom. It's just gonna take me to disappointment. Whole lot of disappointment, chat. Whole lot. It's like real life. The only place we're headed is disappointment. Is that too dark? Is that too dark for the people at home? I feel like it might be too dark. Scavenging Ooze is bad. What else is bad? What else is bad? That one? Sure. But Jeff, why are you cutting Summoner's Pact? So you could Pact for the Burrenton Forge-Tender to have more virtual copies of it. Shut up. Shut up! Yeah, I'm aware that Valakut is colorless. I think you should have bottomed Druid because I could have scryed looking for a Kitchen Finks. So here's the thing, JVL, and this is what people need to understand when they're playing this deck. In paper, it would be correct to bottom the Druid and look for Kitchen Finks. On Magic Online, I can't actually make infinite health, and my opponent likely wouldn't concede. So this deck is functionally much worse on Magic Online than it would be in paper, because you can't go to an arbitrarily large amount of health. In fact, clicking vigorously like a crazy person would bring me to an amount of health that wouldn't even be that high. This hand's very good. I have turn 1... Counterspell, turn 2 combo piece. Just looking for a Vizier to deal lethal. No, so in Magic the Gathering, your creatures are affected by what's called Summoning Sickness, which means when I play Devoted Druid, it can't tap for mana the turn I play it. For people who are newer to Magic. So Summoning Sickness prevents me from winning the game there. Which is again, it's another reason why, in my experience, this combo leaves a lot to be desired, because in addition to being fragile, the setup requires some very specific consistency. Like, you have to have this thing in play and have it not be summoning sick, which is like asking a lot, in my opinion. Correct. Burrenton Forge-Tender is here for their sweeper effects. Well, ain't that a bag of dicks? So we did have the combo kill next turn. We no longer do now. We've been caged up, chat. We've been caged up. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Can this deck actually just not take an artifact or enchantment off the table? Oh, 1 Knight of Autumn. Sure, one Knight of Autumn. I doubt it, but would Pod assist this deck? Yeah, if Birthing Pod was legal, this deck would play it. I don't know that it would make it much better, but it would give you better backup plans. Give you better backup plans, most likely. So I play Abzan Counters Company Hardcore in paper. pops up a fair amount. They play Knight of the Reliquary to be able to convert to mid-range. Almost all the lists I see don't play Pact, Evolution, or Lunge. Sure, yeah, I've seen some lists similar to that, but never once putting up results. Like I said, this deck list actually did a thing somewhere. Don't ask me where it did the thing, because I don't have that answer offhand. But it did do a thing somewhere at some point. Alright, give me a Vizier. 3 looks at lethal. Look at that, chat. Our opponent has died. Would you look at that, chat? Our opponent is dead. Good old turn 4 kill. So again, for those that are not familiar, Vizier plus Devoted Druid. We're gonna get our Wiki Wild on here. The kill is Walking Ball. I'm gonna tell my opponent how they're dead in case they want to concede. God bless you, opponent. That's the big reason I like playing the friendly leagues, is people are less likely to like make you click through stuff like that, which is God bless them, because they could make us click through it there. So never required, but always appreciated. No, I kept the fetch land. So I could have, if we cracked the fetch land, I would have found the Walking Ballista pretty quickly. Hopefully, maybe. What was the Tron record? 2 and 3. We stumbled and died a bunch. We missed our second land a bunch of times in that league with Tron. They bring in Sin Collector to hit their stuff. Maybe that's probably fine. I don't know. So like bullets like Sin Collector, I think are kind of nonsense in this archetype, because a lot of the time you'd rather just get a combo piece than like get a piece of interaction. I feel like I'd only want Sin Collector in the matchups where they're much faster than me. And like Burrenton Forge-Tender's like fine, because it's like a cheap threat that I can use to like convoke Chord of Calling. So it's like a ramp creature in a way. Did my boss make me shave? Kind of. We hit the sponsored goal on the Harry's Razors, so we shaved because of that. Penta, thanks for the host. Penta was probably playing a video game. We're hanging out here playing Magic Online here tonight. Am I into it? No, I prefer having a beard. My face is really cold. You didn't realize how some other content producers are toxic they are to their community days. I watched a former Smite pro who has gone to Artifact saying he will only play limited because he doesn't believe in pay to win. I tried to explain the difference between pay to compete and pay to win. He said there's no difference, and then banned me and others trying to explain it. Listen, some people, this is, again, the most important thing I can put on you is that some people aren't bright enough to be worth having a reasonable discussion with. What's going on, Vertical, of course. I used to play with him, and he banned you. That's really funny. Man, so if they hadn't put Grafdigger's Cage into play here, they would be, no, not quite dead, but they'd be close. So I'm gonna go ahead and pact for Night of Autumn here. Nah, you're fine. Blocks of text are great. I much prefer blocks of text to the nonsense things I have to often time out. So I have to keep my Birds of Paradise alive here. So if they have a bolt, I have to use my Forge-Tender. But I think it's worth using my mana here. Yep, deck queue. You can also, if you go to jeffhoagland.com, there's a deck queue in the live stream drop down. So I have to pay 4 mana for my Summoner's Pact next turn. Which, while it sucks, it isn't really the end of the world. I'm going to fetch an Overgrown Tomb tap at the end of the turn. Any idea when you're going to have a goal for the costumes? Monday. Monday. Monday, Monday, Monday. Getting Bloodbraid Elf, or am I getting Through the Breached? What elves? What's this about costumes? We're going to find a pirate costume and do a stretch goal to have me wear that to the Invitational in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks? It's 3 weeks? I think it's 3 weeks. 2 weeks? No, it's definitely 2 weeks. Because I wasn't going to sell the deck I was playing just so we could wear a costume, but like, I'm playing pirates anyways, so we might as well try and get some costume money. Why didn't you pack for a druid and play it last turn? That would have been better. Yeah, I guess because I drew... So the reason why what happened was I had my line set in my head before I drew my card for the turn. And then I drew Vizier for the turn. And I didn't readjust my line after drawing Vizier. And that's something that happens a lot. So I'm someone who plays Magic quickly, not only on stream, but off stream as well. And one of the ways you play faster is to understand or have a plan for what you're doing before you draw your card for the turn. And sometimes, you know, especially when I'm multitasking on stream, I don't properly readjust my thought pattern of what I need to do the following turn based on the card that I draw for the turn. How much to wear an eye patch the Invitational? I'm not going to wear anything that obscures my vision. I'd also assume there's a chance that's not legal at competitive REL. I decided against Elf Pirates. So there aren't really many good non-Christmas elf costumes that exist, so probably going to go with a pirate with pointy ears. Back again, working towards my boots. What's going on? Thank you for the 213 sub. I appreciate that. So, unfortunately, I have to do this right now because I need to cast 2 spells, so this flips back. Because I could generate infinite mana this turn, but again, this is a combo that requires 3 cards, and this thing flipped isn't a combo card. So I actually have to like pass and then hope like it comes back to my turn. If they just pass their turn without casting a spell, oh, I guess I go off during the upkeep if they pass without casting a spell. So we've got that going for us. They have Primeval Titan here. We could die. They have Scapeshift, we're dead. You know, I definitely played my Summoner's Pact wrong that game. So we probably could have scraped through that. There's a chance that like my opponent had interaction in their hand, but like with the Burrenton Forge-Tender on the table, we probably would have won. So I think we would have won that third game if I'd have used my Summoner's Pact correctly. Could have pacted for Devoted Druid and played Vizier the turn before. Modern is a format full of people playing erroneous cards. My thoughts on Titanshift is a very reasonable, consistent Modern deck that's incredibly boring to play. Of all of the linear, uninteresting things you can be doing in Modern, I think Valakut is the most uninteresting. And that's not to say it's not good. I think it's very good, in fact. I think just from as far as like from a gameplay this deck generates standpoint, it just generates really dry gameplay. Is it more boring to play or play against? Probably to play, because when you play against it, you likely don't have to play against it the following match. You likely don't have to play against it the following match. Not guaranteed, but likely. Whereas when you're playing it, you have to play it again for the next match. Had to open my mouth and let the words fall. I don't actually... For the record, I don't actually think this matchup is that bad for the deck that we're playing, because I think our deck races theirs pretty reasonably, but I do think it's still a dry deck to play against. Did I miss a resub? I don't remember thinking Dying Slow TV. I almost did, yeah. Back again, working towards my boots. Thanks for the 2 months. Thanks for re-upping that Twitch Prime. I appreciate it. Stevo Bandito. Oops, I did it again. I killed my opponent on turn 3. Oh, Modern. What are you doing? Why are you so linear? Do 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 boop 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 boop. Everybody on tap. Boop 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 boop. I have a friend who dropped into GP with 4-color Bring to Light Scapeshift. That deck is crazy. It is. It is. Hey, this is... I would like the record to reflect that this is turn 5. My opponent took 2 turns. I took 3 turns. I have a master's degree in mathematics, which lets me do the computation of 3 plus 2 is 5. This is turn 5. So anybody that thinks Modern isn't a turn 4 format, come on now. This is way past turn 4. Oh, did we find a sodium monster? Did we find a sodium monster? I think we found a sodium monster, chat. If you haven't watched that video that just got posted in chat, you should go do that. It's a way better use of your time than watching me combo kill this opponent. What's the fastest way to do this? Is there an Eternal Witness in this deck? I don't think there is. There isn't. What a tilt. I have to go through it. Do 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 do. I think I'm gonna stop accepting this archetype. Just like, these games like this are just, they're just miserable. They're just like really, it's not even that they're miserable, they're just bad content. Just like, isn't interesting. Chord for Ballista. And just like, your time is worth more than this. My time is worth more than this. I've accepted this, and I've accepted one more in the queue, but I'm not going to take Devoted Company decks for less than 100 bucks anymore. So, courting for Shalai requires me to attack. And it's not even faster because you have to have 6 mana to activate Shalai, and you have to activate Shalai a lot. I mean, to be fair, this would probably be rancid on Arena too. Arena doesn't really fix this issue. And honestly, I think that's a big part of the reason why Modern's never going to come to Arena, on top of all the logistical issues of bringing Modern to Arena. I think, and of all the logistical issues of bringing Modern to Arena, just like combos like this or just be miserable on there. Yeah, but that deck's unplayable for a different reason. So now that we found our Walking Ballista, we have to make 40 mana. They're manually approving all my untapped because they're a sodium-filled gobbler. What's going on, Stamina Dingo? Yeah, Twitch was having some issues earlier tonight. Are we afraid of Modern dying to Marina's Postmodern? Nah. Modern will get smaller because people who don't like Modern's gameplay but like non-rotating formats will move on to a format that has better gameplay or different gameplay, less brutal gameplay. What a gobbler. What just a miserable human being. Like, they're not even just making me click through it, they're like trying to ensure that clicking through it takes longer. I'd check with your doctor about your sodium levels. Seems unhealthy. I mean, I couldn't do anything else while they were doing that, so might as well do it. They haven't said anything in chat. I said Walking Ballista is the kill when I put the combo in place, like letting them know what it is in case they wanted to move on. And then I just made this all comment. It's like, now I have to like cast 20 more. Jeff, 5 months to my sword. Put my tier 2 towards green black elves. Thank you, will do. Green black elves. Only back to that one soon enough. I love that deck. It's great. Oh, can I save targets on this? Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Do 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 do. What, this isn't reportable because what they're doing is not wrong. What they're doing is perfectly allowed by the rules of Magic the Gathering Online. This is completely different than the Second Sunrise deck. In Paper Magic, you literally say the words, I make an arbitrarily large amount of green mana, I pick my deck up and I draw every creature out of it, I put infinite mana into my Walking Ballista and I shoot you for 40. And the game ends on the spot. What's going on, Ecto Man? Thank you for the 5-month resub. Gregor, thank you for the $5 tip. I appreciate that. Let the salt flow and bump the elves. Thank you for the support. In fact, I'm gonna go update the no-fly list right now to add Devoted Company to it. Add Modern to the no-fly list. Listen, the great nation of Hoaglandia was built on the backs of turn 2-ing people. Stands fine, right? It's turn 2 evolve into Devoted Druid. What's going on, Prometheus? They mulligan to 5. You'd probably have better hands if you were less salty. It's a good draw off the top. Yep. This is turn 3 lethal, right? MTGO chat is like 2-player Twitter. I didn't know that was an analogy I needed in my life, but it's definitely an analogy I needed. Please tap out for something stupid so I can untap and kill you. Alright, so they have Anger of the Gods. It's not really a big deal. We get to put our Devoted Druid in the bin by activating it twice, so we have a Postmortem Lunge later. I'm sure we're gonna lose this game since I BM'd about their hand in chat. If they don't interact with my board, a land is lethal next turn. Yeah, I have land is lethal next turn if they don't kill my board. He's dead, Jim. Yeah, gosh, if we could lunge on their end step. All right. Well, if they don't have another lightning bolt, they're dead here. Devoted to quality content, more like it. What's going on Band Twin? Thanks for the 11 months. Welcome back. Nice Valakut deck. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Should have known, should have known, should have known again. So we're 1-1 against Red Green Valakut. I think we'd be 2-0 if I'd have played the first match correctly. I think I mucked up game 3. Yeah, Lunge was real good there. Lunge is the reason we won that game for sure. This hand is great. This is turn 3 kill. Turn 2 Druid, turn 3 Chord for Vizier. Do we expect a ban or unban? No changes in all formats. No explanation of no changes in all formats. That's where the smart money's at for Monday. Dredge or Living End, Dredge. All right. Turn 3 lethal looking pretty good here in the old Racing Mirror match. Make sure you play Dryad Arbor first. No, I actually don't have to play Dryad Arbor first because I can tap it for mana with Convoke the turn I play it. They hit Conflagrate. They hit Conflagrate. Is it cold in here? Should I get my coat out? I feel like there's a chill creeping in. I made what is quite possibly one of the best decisions of my adult life, and I gave Matthew my Reddit account, and he's taken it away from me, so I cannot respond to people on Reddit anymore. Which has been a good step for my sanity. I've like pseudo replaced it by having to respond to YouTube comments, but at least on YouTube I can like block people from posting on my channel, so that's nice. So not interacting with people on Reddit has been a huge plus EV. Reddit's a cool place if you aren't a streamer, maybe. Yeah, Matthew offered to do me a solid by taking it away. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I'm a child. I can't be trusted. Just please take this away from me. All right, if they don't conflagrate my Druid, they should conflagrate my Druid, but if they don't, they're dead next turn. So the Reddit has the same issue that a lot of different places, a lot of people have, and that, what's the quote? The worst part, there's dumb people everywhere, and the worst part is that they don't even know that they're dumb. The first part about being a little bit smart is understanding how little you know. And like, there's just so many people that don't know what they don't know. And I'm sure I've been that way on occasion too. I know I've been that way on occasion too. But one of the biggest things I always try to do as a person is just be like, if I don't know something, it's just like, nope, just not a clue. Just ask someone else. Defer to someone else's expertise. This is someone that knows what's up. You know what's up. The thing that ultimately made me give the keys to my Reddit account, metaphorically speaking, to Matthew, was that I was reading a post about day 9's MT or artifact content. I think it was artifact content, and there were people in the Reddit who were like talking about how they didn't like day 9 is like, he, in my opinion, like having watched this stuff for a while, he's almost like the Tolarian Community College of like generic video games. He's just like this very genuine, nice person, and like if someone can like bring themselves to like take a dump on him, like it doesn't matter what I do, there's people that are always gonna dump on me. Like I've definitely earned a fair a non-zero portion of the dumping that's come my way historically, but even if you're just like mono nice to everybody, you're gonna get dumped on. That's a great way to put it. The Mr. Rogers of Twitch. That is a fantastic description. Just like super upbeat, just like looks for the best in most things, like, yeah, very genuine. Is mono nice top tier in the meta? It really is. It's tier 0, in fact. In fact, one could argue we need to nerf mono nice. So I'm taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I don't block here, I'm dead to them dredging Creeping Chill, and they're gonna get to flashback Faithless Looting. But I don't think I can win if I don't have both my creatures next turn. So I'm just gonna take this hit here. Oh, I guess if I go to 2, I can't cast Postmortem Lunge. Awkward. That's fine. We're probably gonna die anyways, but why would we need to nerf it? It's so underplayed. Oh, that's so funny. That's great. I think I'm on the click submit plan. I guess Forge-Tender counters Conflagrate, so that's good. I'm gonna cut Viscera Seer and Kitchen Finks because that combo is unplayable on Magic Online. I think you'd normally leave that combo in this matchup, but it's unplayable on Magic Online, so I'm just gonna cut it. That's a big part of the internet everywhere, right? Like, when people's real faces are what you see when there's no accountability for their actions. So when you give a normal person anonymity and they're a total dickwad, that means they're actually a dickwad. It's just they understand that if they were that way in society, decent people would shun them. So like when you see people like lashing out and saying obnoxious, offensive things behind pseudonames, that's who that person really is. Whatever facade they put on when they go out into the real world, that's a lie. And like whenever it's like, you know, it's like who you are when nobody's looking is who you actually are, right? And like when there's no accountability because you can hide behind a screen name, that's who you actually are, right? And it's funny, that's actually one of the reasons why I started using my name and then eventually my full name, Jeff Hoagland, everywhere, was that I wanted people to know that I want to be held accountable for the things that I say and I do. Yeah, you should clip that. Go for it. That's just like, that's nothing new. Like, that's just like me parroting things from other places. Isn't Path the best removal against Dredge? So if you're playing a poopy control deck and you're trying to control the game against Dredge, you are right that Path to Exile is how you play the control game. We're a linear combo deck. We're not trying to control the game here. They cast turn 1 Dark Blast, so I assume we're dead. Can you link spicy tuna for me to play at Standard tomorrow? Can you ping me in the subs Discord and I will get you a link later? I would be happy to share the spicy tuna deck list with you, but I'm not gonna load up Arena at the moment. More like Dork Blast. That's a great Dork Blast. Love it. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Perfect. Delta beat me there. All right, let's see if we can run the 1-2 back into the 3-2. Remember, as far as the actual deck is concerned, pilot error drew us our first loss, so you know, perfect play, all that jazz. We'd be 2-1, but we're 1-2 here because I'm human, so I'm flawed. Yeah, if we lose one more match, I'm going to be done. This is a turn 3 kill. Sign me up. So, this isn't the first time we've played this archetype with the lunges. And my feelings here kind of feel the same as the last time we played this archetype. I feel like if you just want to be all in on a combo kill, Storm is just the better deck to be playing. I feel like what this deck is doing isn't better or more consistent than Storm. And when we lose the backup plan that these decks sometimes have, like the appeal to a creature combo deck in my mind is the existence of having a backup plan. And this build of this archetype forgoes that. You can read about why I think Pirates is good and reasonable in my full primer on the Pirates deck on Cool Stuff Inc. I write there most weeks. Playing Bant Spirits maybe and not Infect. Spirits is actually more popular than Infect. Which again, I'm not really sure that we can beat even a single piece of interaction this game, so hopefully they don't have any. Yeah, the thing in the ice deck is interesting. So when we're going to be playing next, I am also interested in that. It's like a good linear game plan with just like a hint of interaction mixed in between Lightning Bolt and Thing in the Ice. So I assume they will have a Collected Company next turn since they didn't have a Spell Queller. And even if they company into Spell Queller, I have a second Vizier of Remedies, which will then deal lethal to them. So unless they have Path to Exile here, I believe our opponent has died. Zero tolerance for people who support harassment of others. That's my policy. I don't care if you give me money. Goodbye, biologist. Have a good one. I missed their comment above. You want to support people like that? Fine. Don't show your face in my chat. Let's just not talk about it. I'll survive without the $5 of people like that. BC Kicks, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. Welcome. Man, are we dead? I think we're dead. I'm not sure that I really have any lines here, right? Oh, you know what? Okay, so I think the line to win here is I kill this in response. And then I'm gonna Pact for another Devoted Druid and play it, because this trigger doesn't have a thing to resolve on now. I just missed the message Admiral's bot. I didn't see what they said. When I caught someone else's message, I caught someone else's message, and then... I mean, the actual answer is there's probably a lot of people that don't know or just don't care. Thanks, Delta. I appreciate the support. Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the YouTube stuff. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you're having a good weekend. Let's go ahead and play out Noble Hierarch here as well. They have another Reflector Mage. We could be in trouble. Putting my money where my mouth is. What's going on, Bantwin? Welcome. Please cycle Canopy. Please cycle Canopy. They're gonna copy Reflector Mage and bounce our Devoted Druid, then kill us. I'm just gonna be done with this deck. I'm just not a fan of this archetype. So I'm just gonna repeat myself what I said a second ago for people that want the wrap-up segment to be concise. I'm just not a fan of how the interaction with this deck plays out. I feel like this archetype doesn't have the consistency to play through interaction. I feel like losing the backup plan from this deck makes it bad Storm. Like, Storm is an all-in combo deck that's more redundant and consistent than this. So I think this deck leaves a lot to be desired, and I'm not going to accept devoted combo decks anymore. We've got one more that's coming up on Monday, I think. It's going to end up being at the top of the queue, but between just like the clicking being miserable on Magic Online and how consistently fragile and awkward this archetype feels, I'm just not gonna accept this as a modern deck anymore. Yeah, Storm's a lot harder to interact with than this. So, like, Storm's fast kills rely on a creature to go off, but, like, this deck's combos always rely on a creature to go off, whereas Storm's later game kills don't need a creature. All right.